How to speak English fluently without hesitation, me, dear friends. They are speaking English. You want to say something. You open your mouth, but nothing comes out. Your heart beats faster. Your palms sweat. You feel nervous. You want to run away. Has this ever happened to you? If yes, you are not alone. Many people feel the same. They understand English. They know the words. But when it's time to speak, their minds go blank. They feel shy. They hesitate. They fear making mistakes. But what if I tell you that you can change this? What if I tell you that you can speak English fluently and confidently, just like a native speaker? You might think, no, it's too hard for me. But trust me, it is possible. You just need the right way. And today, I will give you that way. If you listen carefully and follow my words, I promise you will never feel shy again. Now, before I tell you the secret, let me share a story. There was a boy named James. He lived in New York. He was smart, hardworking, and kind. But he had one big problem. He could not speak English fluently. He knew grammar. He knew vocabulary. But when he tried to speak, he hesitated. He felt nervous. His tongue did not move. One day, he went for a job interview. The manager asked him a simple question. Tell me about yourself. James wanted to answer. He had so many words in his mind. But when he tried to speak, his voice broke. His hands shook. His face turned red. He could not say a single sentence properly. The manager looked at him and said, I'm sorry, but we need someone who can communicate well. James left the office, feeling broken. He sat on a bench and thought, why? Why can't I speak? I know English. Then why do I hesitate? At that moment, he made a decision. I will find a way. I will speak English fluently. No more hesitation. And guess what? He did it now. You might ask, how? What did he do? That is exactly what I will tell you now. Let's begin the journey to English fluency. First, let's talk about the biggest mistake people make when learning English. Many people think, if I learn more grammar, I will speak better. But that is wrong. Think about babies. Do babies learn grammar first? No. They listen, copy, and speak. James realized this. So, he stopped worrying about grammar. Instead, he focused on speaking. And that's the first step. Forget about grammar while speaking. Grammar is important for writing, but when you speak, focus on communication. If you make mistakes, don't stop. Keep going. One day, James met an old man in the park. The man said, "Young boy, do you know the secret of learning a language?" James shook his head. The old man smiled and said, "It is listening. Listen. Listen and listen more. The more you listen, the better you speak." James followed this advice. He listened to English podcasts, movies, songs, and conversations every day. And that is the second step. Listen like a baby. When babies hear words again and again, they remember them. Do the same. Listen to English daily. Let your brain absorb the language. After a few weeks, James noticed something magical. he started understanding English faster. He could hear a sentence and repeat it easily. But he still had one problem. He was afraid to speak. One day he was at a coffee shop. He wanted to order a cappuccino, but he was scared to talk. Then he remembered something the old man said. Be afraid of mistakes. Speak even if it's wrong. Mistakes are your best teacher. So James took a deep breath and said, Can I have one cappuccino, please? The barista smiled and gave him the coffee. And that is the third step. Speak every day, even if you make mistakes. James made a rule. Every day he would speak in English for at least 10 minutes. At first he spoke alone. He talked to himself in the mirror. Then he spoke to his friends. Slowly his fear disappeared. One day he was in a bookstore. He saw a book called Think, in English. The title made him curious. He realized he was always translating in his mind, and that was slowing him down, so he decided to change it. And that is the fourth step. Think in English instead of translating. Train your brain to think directly in English. For example, when you see an apple, don't think of the word in your native language first. Just say apple in your mind. After a few months, James was speaking fluently. He no longer hesitated. He could talk to anyone with confidence. One day, he went for another job interview. This time, when the manager asked, Tell me about yourself, James smiled and answered smoothly. Guess what? He got the job. James had transformed from a shy, nervous speaker into a fluent, confident one. And now, my friends, it is your turn. Remember these steps. Forget grammar while speaking. Just communicate. Listen a lot. Absorb English like a baby. Speak every day. Mistakes don't matter. Keep going. Think in English. Train your brain. If you follow these, I promise you will never hesitate again. And now, I leave you with one thought. It is not about being perfect. So go out there and speak. The world is waiting to hear your voice. And if you found this helpful, let me know. I would love to hear your story. Like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs this.